At thing number 2. The plunger was my favorite, Lori said. Oh, Kinsey wants to know, how is the guy on the table just not cracking up? Yeah, he did good. Alrighty. Thing number 2 today. Let's go. Let me unplug over here. We're going to head over to my sewing machine today and do a little paper piecing, shall we? So, let me turn on my light here. Oh, reach over. There we go. Look at that light. Isn't that an awesome light? Okay. Yep, I've got my 4-year-old necklace on. Isn't that cute with my mask today? My family was teasing me about it last night. I said, oh, you're just jealous that you don't have one of these. All right, guys. So today, we like to tease each other. Why not? Today, I am going to show you, this is part 2 of this little guy. Oops, upside down. Here we go. Part 2 of this. So yesterday we talked about the 3-dimensional pinwheels, right? We got more of an up-close look, really took it step by step from last week's class, and today I said that I would talk to you through step by step on the paper piecing. So if you've done paper piecing before, maybe this will be a good review or to learn something new. Okay, so but before I do, let's go ahead and take a look at some more pictures that you guys have been sending in. I shared a bunch of them yesterday, and I've got a few more to share with you today. Janet asked if my house was clean yesterday when I got home and supper on the table. Yes and no. The house, actually the kids did a pretty good job. They cleaned, and then we went out to dinner. My brother was in town visiting from Nevada, and we decided to go out. So there we go. All right. So, oh, let's see. Whose was this? This is Shannon's. Shannon sent this in, and look how cute her peppermints are. She's got peppermint fabric on top of peppermint. Pretty cool, right? Okay, let's take another look at one. Betty, Miss Betty here. Okay, let's take a look at this. We've talked about how you could change the layout of your trees and it would become a star. Now, in one direction, if you have your trees all going out, it's going to create a different star than what they have going in. But you can see right here that we've got some, if you can you see the star that's made out of the green? It's kind of cool. I like it. So nice job, Betty. And I got one where they took the trees and made them go out. Okay, yeah, this one. Let's see. Diana did this one. And if you can look closely, you can see a secondary pattern here. Pretty cool. So her trees faced out, and so the secondary pattern is the star that is on each side of the tree in the tree block. Can you see that? Some of you could see that yesterday and some still couldn't see it. But look closely, look a little bit different, and you'll find that that star will appear. So that one's Diane's. Let me show you a few more. Candace sent this one in. Let's take a look. Look at that. Isn't that cute? She added buttons to the center of her pinwheels. And I also love her trunks. It looks like she maybe had used a little bit of like a wavy trimmed rotary cutter. And that is what Candace used on hers. So love that. You guys keep these coming in. These are so much fun to take a look at. And then this one is from Karen. And Karen did hers. She had trees going opposite in one direction and then regular on one and upside down on another. So it's kind of cool because no matter, again, where you're sitting, you've got lots of different things to look at. So I love, love, love that one as well, Karen. And then this, I thought this was a great idea. So some of you are turning yours into table toppers, some are doing wall hangings. One of our friends, Win is her name, W-I-N, she made hers into pillows. Isn't that cute? I love those pillows, Win. So love, love, love. And thank you so much for sharing. So this ends up being about an approximate, it should be 19 inches, could be about 20. So if you had a 20-inch pillow form, it'd be perfect. You'd get a really nice full stuffing on yours. And hers is, that's what she did here, 20-inch pillow form. So isn't that great? So lots of different possibilities with this. I also noticed that she used like a leather for her tree trunks. So very cute. All right, guys, so thank you again. Keep them coming. I love seeing them on Friends of My Girlfriend's Quilt Shop, or are in our club. People are posting them in the club as well. So either place is great, and it's really a lot of fun to see. Okay, let me do something real quick. I need to do a little press. There we go. Okay, so today let's talk a little bit more about how those trees come together. And if you have any questions along the way, just let me know. Where did I put the pattern? Oh, oops, underneath. Boom, there we go. Alrighty. Talking about the paper piece trees. Some of you, this was your first time paper piecing, and you were super, you had great success with it, so that always makes me happy. Now, when you print out the template, this is the tree trunk, but I also put in a 1-inch square. And the reason why this is a 1-inch square, if you print it correctly, this will measure 1 inch. And that's how you know if you printed it correctly. So you want to print it at 100%. Don't do a fit to page or anything like that. You want to print it at 100%. Okay. So you're going to cut out your template. Now, if you're going to make the theme, you're going to want to make 4 copies of this template. Okay, so that you have enough to make all 4 of the blocks. But today I'm going to make 1 block. So the pattern has all the measurements and everything. Now, there's lots of different ways to paper piece. I'm going to show you my preferred method. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, that's okay. You can try something else that works different for you. But the whole idea with paper piecing is like, it's almost like, I like to consider it like a paint by number. Okay, that we start out with 1, we go to 2, we go to 3, and then we go to 4. I also like to say that this template is like your roadmap, that if you have this printed out, you know exactly where to go next. So this one does not have the tree trunk on it. Okay, if you wanted to do it with a tree trunk paper pieced inside here, you certainly could. I actually did my sample with glitter applique fabric from Kimberbell, and so the trunk is actually appliqued to the outside of the tree. Okay, all right, so the first thing you do is whatever is piece number 1 is going to be the first piece you do. It's also going to be right side facing up. This is the only time you have right side facing up on when it comes to doing your fabric. All right, I'm also going to use a glue stick. This is just an Elmer's glue stick, and I'm going to place a little bit of glue on the back of my pattern, just to hold piece number 1 into place. I don't have to do that afterwards. It's just for piece number 1. So let's go ahead and put my screen down. And I know this is a white on white, so you probably can't tell what is right side up, but I will tell you this one is right side up. I've got some white on white snowflakes on here. Okay, so there it is. Again, you are piecing from the back, you sew from the front. All right, so how do we know where to put our next piece of fabric? Well, we do it on the line between the 1 and the 2. That's how we do it. So we need to fold back on number 1 so that it reveals what fabric is left. I can trim it up to be a 1/4 inch. So let me find my little, sheesh, I did have this all together. Well, I'll use a little business card right here. Okay, I will use a little business card or a piece of cardstock or something to place it on the fold, or excuse me, on the line, and I'm going to pull it back on top of itself. Whoops. Let me try that again. There we go. Between the 1 and the 2, so that it reveals what is left. So do you see that? It's on the line between the 1 and the 2, so I can see what's left. Is the ruler behind me? No, I've got the ruler. I was looking for a little piece of cardstock I had out. Weird. Okay. Here's my ruler. This is called the add a 1/4 ruler. Love, love, love this. It is not a have to item, but it is a nice to have item. I always like to clarify, not have to, but nice to have. And the reason why is because the add a 1/4 ruler is specifically made for paper piecing, and it has an edge, a lipped edge right here, that when I put it on my paper, it's going to slide back and forth just like that, and give to me my perfect 1/4 inch. So I'll go ahead and cut that. Oops. There we go. I have my 1/4 inch revealed. Oops, my glue came undone. That's okay. I can fix that. Alrighty, let me try this again. 1/4 inch above. There we go. All right. So now I know exactly where to place my next piece of fabric. My next piece of fabric, I couldn't help myself. Look how cute that is. I'm going to use Kim's little, what does she call this? We Wish You a Merry Christmas. That's the one it is. Okay. This is from We Wish You a Merry Christmas. That's going to be my tree on this one. So I know exactly where to place my next piece because I have my 1/4 inch cut off. So I'm going to place it right sides together. So now everything goes down right sides. And I could place a little pin in there if I wanted to. Make sure it is outside of the seam line. And then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to sew directly on the line between the 1 and the 2. All right, so just remember, whatever you just folded is the next line that you're going to sew on. Now I'm going to turn my machine on over here, and let's see, put my needle in the center position. And the other thing when it comes to paper piecing is that you want to shorten your stitch length by a few notches. So I'm at a 2.4. I'm going to, as my default, I'm going to take it down to a 1.6. All right. So 1.6 is what my seam length is. The reason why you want a shorter stitch length is because when it comes to ripping off the paper, it's not going to pop your stitches. All right? Okie dokie, let's do this. The other thing you want to do is backstitch at the beginning and at the end of the line. You could either do a backstitch or you can do what's called a reinforcement stitch. The reinforcement stitch has the needle go up and down about 3 times in the same position, which is also a great way to go. All right. And do my reinforcement stitch, 1, 2, 3, and be done. And I'm cutting my threads. Okay, here we go. So, and I'll undo this. When I pull this back, look what has been done. This has been sewn together. My bottom piece and my next piece. Another tool that I love, I shared with this on Thursday, is the Clover fabric folding pin. Basically what it is it's a little brush pin. You fill it up with water and there's a few, like 2 to 3 drops of solution in it. You just drop it in there. It's a fabric softening solution. I love this because if I just finger press, it doesn't go down as far as I'd like it to go. It doesn't have as flat of a seam. So all I do is I run that down the seam, do a finger press, and now that is really nice and flat. So I love the fabric folding pin. I use it for lots and lots of different things. Okay, so now that I have that, what do? I turn it back over on top of itself to reveal my road map again. I've done number 1 and I've done number 2. Now it's time to do number 3. So what do? Well, I have to figure out where I'm going to sew my next piece. So what am I going to do? I am going to fold back on the line between 2 and 3 because that's my next piece, right? So to find out what line it is, oh, here's the card. Here we go. I'm just going to place a business card right there on that line, and I'm going to fold this back on top of itself. So fold it back. There we go. And situate this so I can get a better grip of what I'm doing here. Okay, so once again, it's open like that. I just bring it back on top of itself. Now I need to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance. So I'm going to take my little add a 1/4 ruler, put it right here on the edge. Okay, the lip catches that fold. Engage my rotary cutter and cut. And there you have it. Now you can see right here, oops, I know where my next piece is going to go. There's my 1/4 inch, right? So I'll go ahead and open up my paper right back where it was at. And I know where piece number 3 goes. I'm going to place right side facing down along that angle, and I'm just centering it right along there. All right, so I have it right there on top of the fabric. Boom. I can place a pin in there if I'd like to, so I'll go ahead and do that. Now I'm going to flip it around, and what am I going to sew on? I'm going to sew on the line between 2 and 3. Remember what I said earlier? Whatever was the line that we just folded is the same line that you open up, is the same line you stitch on. All right, so let's go back over here and do that. I'm going to do a little reinforcement stitch. And a reinforcement stitch. And cut my threads. Okay, I'll take out my pin, and are you ready for this? Da, 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 da. Here we go. Look, that angle is absolutely perfect. All right, come back here. Do a little finger press. Take my fabric folding pin, just run it right along there, and press down, finger press it down. Okay, perfect. One more to go, guys. So let's see, it looks a little ski-wampus right now. Let's turn it back over to the road map, shall we? Now we've done 1, 2, and 3. Now the last step is number 4. So I'm going to figure out where do I put, how do I add it? I'm going to take my little business card here, little piece of cardstock, whatever it might be. I'm going to put it directly on that line between the 2 and the 4. Fold it back on top of itself to reveal the excess fabric. Turn this around and use my add a quarter seam ruler to put it right there. Engage my rotary cutter. Slowly take it back over there. All right. So now the final piece is ready to be put on. Do you see how my added a quarter inch here? Now I put it back on itself, and I have one more background to put on. Right side down, place it right on top of there, center it, pin it. Now I'm going to turn it right back side, the right side back up, and stitch on that line. Okay. All right, there we go. Open it up, use my pen, bring it down, there we go. And there you have it. Now that looks a little crazy, doesn't it? Well, that's because we have the 1/4 inch seam allowance already built into it. So what you want to do now is we're going to trim up this block by cutting directly on the outside line. And let me grab another ruler here. There we go. Engage my, there we go. Engage my rotary cutter. All right, let's do this. Oops. There's cut number 2. And cut number 3. And one more cut. Cut number 4. Ta-da! Look at that! Isn't that great? So you have absolutely perfect points. I have a 1/4 inch seam allowance built in right here. I have a 1/4 inch seam allowance built here and here. So when it comes to sewing on my next piece, I will have still perfect points. Pretty cool, right? And then if you want to do the trunk, you would do like brown felt or brown glitter or something like that. That is how easy it is to do a paper piece tree. And then what I'm going to do is just rip this off this paper. When you do, sometimes it's nice to just, hold on to that seam with your thumb a little bit, just so that, nothing pops up. And look at that. Pretty cool. And I have a beautiful block that's ready to go. And how stinking cute is that tree? Adorable. So fun. Okay, so that is the basics of paper piecing. Pretty easy, right? Okay, yes, Betty Jo says, should we make at least 4 copies of the paper pattern? Yep, because you're going to do this 4 times. If you're doing this project, there are 4 blocks, 4 paper piece blocks, so you want to do 4 copies. All right. Yay! Kathy said, this looks easy. I've never done that before. I did some Prairie Point pinwheels today for a baby quilt. So fun. All right. I'm so glad to hear that. That's wonderful, Kathy. Okay, let's see. What are we asking? Okay, some of you have lost your sewing pins. I'm, I'm starting to read through comments like super quick and going, huh? What? Huh? What conversation is going on here? Debbie says she knows it's in her sewing room somewhere. Hey, been there, done that. That's for sure. Sherry said, do we get your business cards in the order? Laugh out loud. How to say it. You're so funny, Sherry. You don't get my business card, but you do get a little business card that says this is a kit, and I don't know, like we want you to look through it. If you have any problems with it, let us know. Stuff like that. So there is a little business card in there. Okay. Yay! Terry would like to purchase the paper piecing products. Yep, we've got them. I'll show you that here in just a minute. What is the name of the pink rotating cutting mat? It is the Sue Daly pink rotating cutting mat. Love it. One of my absolute most favorite tools in my sewing room. Okay. Fabric folding pen. Yep. Okay. Oh, Barbara. Wow. I'm retired 11 years. Not a bunch of extra time watching grandgirls with virtual school. You go, girl. That is awesome. Wow. Okay. Loving the pillow. I know everybody has such good ideas. You're right, Janet. Okay, so just made a paper piece puppy, Judy. How cool is that? I'd love to see it. Send me a picture or put it on our Facebook page. I'd love to see it. Okay, Debbie said, good refresher course. Haven't done it in a while. Just about to start a paper piece Christmas ornament. Fabulous. Yeah, some of these things, if it's one of those things, if you don't use it, you lose it kind of thing. And sometimes if I go a long time without paper piecing, I have to think to myself, okay, wait, what was that again? Now, let me just double check, make sure I'm doing this right. It's one of those things, and then in a minute, it takes you, a minute to like remember where you're at, and you go, oh, this is like riding a bicycle. Easy peasy, right? So, for sure. Robin asked, what are the polka dot scissors on your table? I couldn't tell you. I might have even gotten these like at a big box store. Ooh, these are just my paper scissors. So, yeah. That's what they are. Yeah, Sue Daly. S-U-E, Sue Daly, D-A-L-E-Y. All right. Yes, Kim is so right. She said, I've been looking at all the table toppers posted on my girlfriend's Quilt Shop Facebook, and they are so cute. Each one has its own personality, and yet they are all fantastic. I couldn't agree with you more, Kim. That is so true, and that's what's been so fun for me to see your pictures. This is just, I mean, so many different fabrics and ways you turn things and little things that you do with the trunks that are so fun too. So I love it all. Please keep posting. They really make me smile. So thank you. And I know they're very inspiring for so many of you out there as well. Okay. What questions do you have? Let's see. How do you reduce the bulk in the pinwheels? Lisa asked. Are you talking about the pinwheels from yesterday, Lisa? If you're talking about the pinwheels from yesterday, it is definitely, you just got to chalk it up to you are going to have some bulk there. If you're talking about a regular pinwheel, then the reducing the bulk is very easy. You're going to do what's called spinning the seams, and we talk about that in our PC 101 class on Saturday. For those who may have been there, but spinning the seams is basically you should end up with a little tiny pinwheel on the back of your block, and then you know that all your seams are going the correct way. With the pinwheel blocks that we did yesterday, because of the dimension, you not only have a layer of 4 patches going together. My background is just a 4 patch, but you also have, let's see, you've got, you know, like 4 layers. Excuse me. 4 layers of the pinwheels coming together as well. So you got lots of bulk there for sure. So my best advice to you is to open your seams, press them open as much as possible. It's going to be really difficult to spin the seam what we normally would do with a regular pinwheel block, but with this block you're going to have to open up those seams. Thank you all for the blessings. Let's see. Ruth asked, is the pattern available to purchase? Yes, it's a lot of money. it's a huge amount. I'm just teasing, Ruth. I am so glad you asked. It is actually a free pattern for all of you. So you can find it under Deal of the Day. And that's a free pattern for everyone. And we're going to keep it free for a few more weeks. And then it will go up to $9.99. So get yours now while you can. All righty. Yay! Teresa said she had never paper pieced before, so that table topper was great fun. I love hearing that. Okay, what other questions do we have? That's the Jaws song. Do 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 do. You won't get that unless you were with us from the beginning of this. Jan, I figured it out. Do 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 do. All right. Let's see. That thing. Yeah, good. Okay. Oh, it looks like you need to trim 3 and 4 off of 1. Yeah, you will trim. Yeah, you'll trim the 1/4 inch past all of those pieces. So I hope that makes sense. Name again of the cutting mat is the Sue Daly cutting mat. Nicole? Yeah. What is the name of our Sue Daly cutting mat on the website? Could you put that up? Could you let me know what we've named it exactly? Rotating cutting mat Sue Daly. Rotating cutting mat is what Nicole said that it is. All right, let's see. Lisa has a question. For the trees, do you need to use certain paper? I missed parts of video. That's a great question, Lisa. Actually, you do not. You can use regular paper. I just use copy machine paper. That will totally work. However, I will say that if you wanted to do a lot of them, or if you were really getting into paper piecing, I would highly recommend purchasing Carol Doak's foundation paper. It's on our website. Carol Doak's foundation paper. There's a lot of foundation papers out there. I happen to really like Carol Doak's, and it's a brown paper. It's fairly thin. It's a softer paper. So what you can do is you can put it through your copy machine or through your printer, and everything will be transferred onto it, but it is a little bit softer, a little bit easier on the needle than a regular copy machine paper. But you certainly can use a copy machine paper. Oh, Kathy Kitchen, thank you so much. Kathy Kitchen put a link to the Sue Daly cutting mat in the comments, so take a look at that. The name of the 1/4 inch seam ruler is Add a Quarter.